Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about the rent-a-server program that DICE has implemented into the fall update, which came out this past Tuesday. I want to just go over about everything that's happening with the program they came out with. Of course, I do know it is in beta stage. It's not the final version of the rent-a-server program, but I just wanted to talk about it. Because obviously now that DICE has the in-house server program, you will not be able to rent servers from third-party companies such as like NFO servers or stuff like that. So all the server rental is going to be through DICE, and DICE will rent out, give the contracts to other companies, like server companies and stuff like that. So here's what I was saying, rent-a-server program, you just go into store and then you can just click there. As I said, it is in beta stage, so this is not going to be the final form of, I know that's a Dragon Ball Z pun, it's not going to be the final version of the rent-a-server program, so you can basically do the, the basic things you'd expect from doing server management. You can name your server, description, message, you can change maps and game modes according to what you like. You can even take out certain weapons that you don't want people to use, like certain class weapons or certain gadgets or stuff like that. You can even take out kits, like let's say you don't want any elite classes, you can take those out. You can limit land and air vehicles, miscellaneous, like make it hardcore or not, the rule set. You also pick your region, and you can also pick your rental day, well, the rental period, that is. So you can either go up to 1 day all the way to 180 days. Now, the thing is with all this, okay, first of all, one problem we run into is in US East, which is where I would rent a server from, there are no servers left for me to rent. And in Europe, it's the same thing. There are no servers left to rent. Like they've already maxed out the capacity of servers that you can rent in those two regions. So that's kind of lame. For people who want to actually rent a server right now in those parts, you won't be able to until they make it so that they have more capacity. And for the rental period, so okay, for a 64-man player server, this is actually very competitive pricing. It's really good. If you go on any other third-party companies or whatever like that, as I was saying earlier, NFO servers, because that's the only one that's coming to mind right now. It's actually really competitive. Let's say for a Battlefield 4 server, it was probably about the same price, right? But the problem with DICE's rent-a-server program is that their price does not scale. So let's say you have, let's say you put Conquest in maps and modes, but you also, I want to play Argonne Force on Domination. Your server is going to be 24-man only. It's never going to be 64 players. So you're basically paying the price of a 64-player server for a 24-player server size, which is kind of lame for people who want to, let's say, have dedicated rush servers or stuff like that. So that's like the first problem we encounter with this. So some more problems that the rent-a-server program has right now is that you can't actually administrate the server. Like, let's say you think somebody's hacking or cheating, or let's say there's a lot of racism going on in chat and you want to kick that person, you have no control. You cannot kick somebody right now. Even if you pay for the server, you can't do shit about anything. So that's kind of lame. You can't really have control over your server as much as you could like in other past Battlefield games where you would rent a server through a third-party company. And also, let's say you rent a server and the server's full. Okay, your server, there's a lot of people in it, it's populated, and well, if you pay for the server and the server's full, then you basically can't get in because you can't kick anybody. You can't make a whitelist like in, let's say, Battlefield 4, where you could make it so that if a whitelisted person joins the server, which are also known as VIP slots, it would kick like the last person to join the server, right? So you can't do that. So you might be paying for a server in which you can't even play if it's always full. So that creates kind of a small problem, you know, because let's say if I put down that kind of money to rent a server off of DICE, I would expect to be able to play in it and not have it filled up on me, and I go to play and well, sorry, your server's full, so screw you, you're gonna have to wait in queue just like everybody else. So that's one of the problems that the rent-a-server program has right now. Now, as I said, I do know it is in beta and they have a lot of work to do on that. But those are some basic features that we would need like right now, because we've always had those features before, and right now it's just not. I would just hold off to rent a server just because of those things that I just mentioned. I mean, those are big problems. That if you pay that kind of money for a server, you want those kinds of things to be able. You want those tools that you can have to administrate your server properly. And something else that would be cool is actually limiting, like let's say you want to play a Conquest server with no behemoth. That would be cool to be able to take out the behemoth. That would be great. I mean, I think a lot of people that actually like that. You could also maybe like control, I don't know, take off the weather events or stuff like that, because I know some people don't really like the weather events. So those are all things that DICE can think about implementing into the rent-a-server program. But I think it's a really good thing that DICE controls it now. I mean, because they have good pricing, and it's you know, I can't see it going wrong. But they're gonna have to make a lot of improvements so that people actually want to rent servers off them, because we had so many features before, and we just want to keep the features that we have and not like downgrade. And some other problem that that has been going around is in, let's say, in South Africa or Asia, stuff like that. There are no local DICE servers. There's nothing. You can't even rent a server in those areas because DICE has not contracted a company to be able to make Battlefield 1 servers. So people in Asia and South Africa are joining servers, let's say in Europe and stuff like that, so they cannot play Battlefield 1 with like a ping of under like 200, 250, which is terrible. I mean, you drop that kind of money for a game which is based around a multiplayer experience, and when you go to play that multiplayer experience, well, I'm sorry, you know, there's no servers in your area, so you're gonna have to play in a server that gives you a 200 ping, and that sucks for the player who lives in that area and can't get a decent server with a decent ping. And it sucks for people playing against those players, because playing against somebody that has a really high ping is incredibly frustrating, because sometimes the hit registration doesn't like, it's not proper. It's just like, I don't know, it's just wonky. So DICE has got to get on top of that and fix that. I mean, the game's been out for a month now, and like people that live in those areas of the world and paid the full price just like everybody else, they can't have a decent gaming experience because of that issue. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the whole rent-a-server program being owned by DICE. I mean, I'm open for discussion, and like, give me your ideas on what you think they should do to make it a better rent-a-server program. But yeah, that's about it for today's video. If you like that video, hit the like button. If you dislike it, hit the dislike button. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.